Hi, Dr. Dan Purser here for our Wednesday night Facebook Live. We do them every other week. Tonight I'm interviewing, or are you interviewing me?
You're interviewing me.
Oh, Lois Schweigert of the Facebook Live, or the Facebook page let me say it again, Facebook fan page in Fibromyalgia with Natural Options. And she also has a private group, is that right?
Yes.
And you don't let me in there. I'm not allowed in there.
You are in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I am in there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in there.
You do. You go on and answer questions.
Oh, okay. So I guess I am in there. In Fibromyalgia with Natural Options private group. So let me do some announcements. So Brecken's behind the microphone asking questions. Well, kind of behind the camera. Jackson's actually behind the camera. And Brad's just making snarky comments from the side over there. He laughs.
The gang's all here.
He's like Ed McMahon and Johnny Carson. I just sit there and laugh. So, you had a question?
No, I just said the gang. Oh, well, we do have a lot of questions. So make sure, I'll just let them know too. Make sure you leave your questions down below, and throughout the Facebook Live, I'll pull them and do them here. But, Dr. Purser, I've actually heard that you think you're kind of famous recently.
I'm really very humble about it. Quit laughing at me. I'm really very humble about it. It's just it's a humble thing. It's very humbling.
You got recognized in Disney World.
I did, and I'm not sure how, because I had my costume on. I had a hat pulled down on my head. I had sunglasses on. I was in Liberty Tree Tavern, coming down the stairs. It's not really a tavern. It's kind of all you can eat turkey dinner place, I guess, is one way to describe it. It's really good food, but I was coming down the stairs. I've been washing my hands in the washroom, and this lady stopped me and said, "I've watched all your videos." That's how she said it. I'm like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, and I watched all your Facebook Lives and all this. She said, "You're Dr. Purser, aren't you?" I'm like, "I am," but I don't know how she knows Dr. Purser. I mean, I had this hat on and sunglasses, and it was crazy. So
I call that your Disney uniform.
Is that really? I mean, I'm not very recognizable. I'm kind of mysterious.
Well, you kind of have some cheeks that have been known to be recognizable.
My chubby cheeks.
His mom called him Bubbles for the first.
No, we don't ever. That's a family thing. We don't ever let that out.
Dr. Bubbles.
No, Lois,
Dr. Bubbles. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be fired.
You're welcome. This is my last Facebook Live.
So, I don't even know where to go now.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some reminders. Follow me on Facebook Lives and videos. They'll be captioned. That's our plan for the future. We're also, my podcasts are called Chats with Dr. Purser. This will become a podcast. I think I call them podcats.
No.
Podcats. Okay. And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Dan Purser MD, all those places. Pinterest. My pictures are awesome. I need to post all my pictures from when I was at Disney World speaking and doing all that while I was there. So email is getting you get on our email list. This is where we do sales and prizes, etc. And the email list you want to get on is the physiciandesigned.com email list. That's a really good one. And the infibromyalgia.com website, you can buy all my supplements there too. You can even go down to Amazon, or if Amazon ever goes down, I can't imagine that ever happening. Plus shipping is free, just like Amazon. We're going to be as big as Amazon one day, we think. And Brecken, wait, are we as big as Amazon now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I quit.
I'm done here anyway. Just joking.
I don't need to say another word. And we offer secret sales sometimes, but you can't tell anyone about them because they're a secret. So DHL to Australia and Canada and Europe, and all channels are open for shipping. So books. No More Cold Hands and Feet. That's my thyroid book. And my fiber book on copper toxicity is still 99 cents until the end of the month at Great Med eBooks. That's greatmedebooks.com. Also Amazon under Dan Purser MD. And so free bottle of Copper Balance if you sign up for the private group in Fibromyalgia with Natural Options. And if Lois lets you in. She's in control of the private group. you got to satisfy her, and she'll ask you 5 questions before you're allowed to pass that way. And they're secret questions. So, is that right?
No, only one.
What is it?
Do you have or you know someone who has fibromyalgia?
That's
it's an easy
well,
question.
I thought it was like a trial by fire.
It's an easy question. Yeah.
Not a trial by questions.
Nope.
Like I just pictured it like it was Indiana Jones and the goblet when the German guy's trying to drink the Holy Grail.
Yeah. And he melts.
Yeah, and he melts because he didn't answer the questions right.
That's just what Facebook allows nowadays.
Yeah.
I could probably melt down Facebook, I'm pretty sure. Okay, for people who want to be patients and don't want me to melt them, I'm in London, only 45 minutes from the airport. Your time with me can be easily scheduled, I'm reading this, by going to danpursermd.com where you can book online. So also, the big Dan Purser event with Star Mori, it's coming soon, October 5th and the 6th. Go to eventbrite.com and go to the Be Vibrant featuring Dr. Dan Purser. Yeah, I'm a physician and speak for a living. I can't speak now. So Be Vibrant featuring Dr. Dan Purser under eventbrite.com. It's the Star Mori event. So blood and genetic testing. I know a lot of you want it. You should get it. It's under testing, genetics-testing at danpursermd.com. You just go to danpursermd.com and look for our testing section. You can make an appointment there at Fibro Bundle Cell. What's that all about? What's the Fibro Bundle Cell?
We have a couple different Fibro Bundle sales. We have product Fibro Bundle on our physician designed, and that's for a bottle of copper balance and a bottle of Vars glutathione. We also have a copper bundle sale of genetic testing and also vitamin testing. Really great because you can obviously know your methylation issues, and then on top of that, get into your vitamin issues.
You should be the doctor here. You said
You're
a lot better
welcome.
than me. Yeah. So we're almost through with those patients, and I've got one more. I got a helper. We're having a hard time keeping scheduled with her. That's our fault. But we're almost through with those fibro patients.
Yeah.
They're almost cured.
Yeah.
Well, I can't cure you. They almost have no symptoms. How about that? Or minimal symptoms. And they were the worst of the worst that night when I chose them.
Yeah.
They were the
worst.
ones that were like crawling through broken glass, bleeding all the way, crying. It was bad. Well, not that bad maybe, but it was bad. They were pretty much bedridden. And now we got them on video, inch by inch, every step of the way, as I talk to them, as we adjust their treatments, everything else. So we'll be turning those videos over to, what's my nephew's name that does the videos? We have so many nephews, it's hard to keep up with all. Oh, Will does the video stuff. Okay, so it'll be Will, and will do those videos. So questions. Are we ready for this?
Well, how about you introduce her?
Oh, who are you? Well, this is Lois Schweigert, and how do I know you? Who are you?
Who am I? I knew your wife before she was your wife. And I don't know, how are we going down this road?
Well, so
We like to go deep.
Okay, so you guys, friendly. I would come to visit, and I knew you were a physician. But
I just run out the door, and you didn't know what I did.
Yeah, I
knew
you were a doctor, but that was the
guy,
extent of that.
The doctor guy.
Yeah, and so after a few years of you guys being married, long story short, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and Denise and I started chatting about different nutraceuticals that I could take to protect myself in the future. And then about 6 months later, I started having lady problems and called you because a doctor had prescribed me something, and I just didn't want to take it. I felt very uncomfortable about it, so I asked her to ask you about it, and you called me within the hour, told me not to take that product.
It was a prescription synthetic something.
Yeah, it was a synthetic hormone or something.
Which massively increased, 250% increase in breast cancer risk, or for you, like 1,000% increase.
Right.
Yeah.
And that we were on the path to probably having a hysterectomy was where I was headed. And so you overnighted me some natural progesterone, and by the next evening I had stopped bleeding after I can't remember, it was 9 or 12 weeks of.
And I prescribed it for you, right? Let's be legal
Yes,
there. Okay,
yes,
good.
yes.
And I'd seen you before.
Yes.
So, yeah, and I'd been down in a university in Southern California doing research, and had determined what the doctor was doing research with. We thought all fibromyalgia cases were hormonal or growth hormone related, and we really looked hard at that approach. And you like a lot of my patients got better,
Yes.
but not a lot better. You get rid of your hot flashes, night sweats, all the weird stuff. So HRT, appropriate, careful HRT is a really big part of
Yes.
fibro care, don't you think?
I do. And it got me out of bed. I mean, I was pretty bedridden for a long time, I think. And it got me up, and I would say it got me maybe 50% better.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Yeah, I would say I had good days and bad days. There was always still some lingering pain, but I could push through it, but.
So did you have a SpectraCell where you had a low copper level? Were you one of those ever?
Yeah, I was low everything. I was deficient in almost everything.
But it's that low copper level on SpectraCell that's really telling, because it shouldn't be low. Because when I check serum levels and run you through patients through that fibromyalgia, through that non-cerebral plasma bound copper level, the NCC, they'll have, like you, have really high copper levels. Did you have high copper levels? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It was
Yeah.
a long time. I don't think I know I was deficient in everything, and that
We
wasn't
didn't know
the
you had
focus quite
methylation
yet.
problems
Yeah,
either,
that was.
did we?
Yeah, we weren't focusing on
Yeah, I
that
hadn't
quite
figured
at that
all that
early
out.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So two things to take from that. Deal with the hormone issues you've got to when the day comes and you have menopause or whatever, perimenopause. It's really critical, and it will come for all women eventually. And number two, you've got to deal with the methylation issues with fibro,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, I've read stuff that Ben Lynch wrote. I used to say this just to say what he said, but he said MTHFR and fibromyalgia don't go together. I haven't ever found that to be the case. I've found that it always goes together. And so if you can deal with the pain part, which is the copper, methylthionine dysfunction, but you got to deal with the fatigue part separately, kind of. And that's
Right,
the
yeah.
methylation problem.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, based on my experience,
So you take MTHFR support?
I do.
You take like 20 a day?
No.
Oh.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, so 2 to 3 a day.
How many? And you take copper balance still?
I do.
But not a lot of them.
I take 5 a day.
And that's what my wife, she does that
Yeah.
for maintenance too.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems to work.
Yeah. I tried to go down several months ago to 4. I thought I would test it to see if I didn't need the 5. But within 2 weeks, I was like, yeah, no, I need 5.
Don't you think we need to sell bottles of 100? Would that be easier on
I think so, yeah. I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I go through it like crazy too.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. When we get the chance, let's start.
Make a note.
Yeah, make a note. Let's do that for our long-term patients.
Yeah.
And watch for case lot sales and really cheap sales we're going to have here in the next few months, especially as Christmas approaches.
Black Friday, all those fun
Black
things.
Friday, big sales. And at physiciandesign.com, we sell a lot of it really cheap, like those deals bundles and all that you were talking about. Okay.
But don't
That's
forget, right now, you can get a free bottle of Copper Balance if you
Yeah.
sign up for the email list at endfibromyalgia.com.
And you get past her question,
And you-
which is mysterious.
Like and share and join her Facebook page. It's the Endfibromyalgia.
Oh, so there are goals like the.
Well, we want as many people to get the Copper Balance bottle as
So
possible.
like
We
and-
do have
like and
goals,
share.
but that's what we did last time.
Yeah.
Those are hurdles.
They are hurdles.
They're minimal.
But we want you guys to get this bottle, so do
Okay.
it.
The
Try it
hurdle
out.
is like,
Well, the
share,
more
and
you like
pass
and
the
share.
question.
Yeah, the more
The
other
more people get free bottles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
the more
You
people you can help.
bankrupt us by giving away free bottles.
Oh, and how long are we doing this for? That
Forever. No.
No.
Sorry, but no, we're not.
We're gonna end it at the end of this month. So
What?
so it's going on for a little bit of time. So share this video so that
We've
your
like
friends,
doubled the number of fibro patients on.
We have so many people who we want to help who need help.
There are millions.
Yeah.
So 11% of the U.S. population is supposed to have fibromyalgia. I think it might be a little higher, but that's about 37 million people, 38 million people.
Well, no,
So we're just not
wouldn't-
even there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because too, when you think about how long it takes people to get diagnosed, for me it took several years,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people have said that they've suffered for a really long time before they even just get a diagnosis.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes me sad.
totally
Yeah.
true.
Because our goal was to stamp out
Fibro.
fibromyalgia.
Hashtag stamp out
Oh,
fibro.
Stamp out fibro. Hashtag. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Okay, so so we have questions now.
We do.
Now that we know who Lois is, she lives in Phoenix. She was a professional bowler. That's a point. No,
No.
You were the professional
I
bowler,
was
right?
never. I wanted to be.
You were the professional disco dancer.
No, I worked in the oil fields actually. That's how I paid my way through medical school. Oil fields and yeah, harsh.
Yeah.
Taught me to appreciate a desk job.
Yeah, I bet.
It's crazy. Okay, so I'm just pulling questions from everywhere, so don't forget to ask your questions down below. But so this person has been taking VARS for a few days, and they're not sure how often they should be taking it. But currently they've been taking 7 pumps twice daily. How long would the bottle last if you're doing that? Should you be taking more?
Should last 30 days.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
your recommended dosage usually? Is that about it?
So VARS has a patent. We got a huge patent on it. We're actually rolling out or attempting to roll out a big biotech because we're going to go for some FDA approvals on a medicinal form of the VARS. Just so you know, it really does work. It's the only glutathione on the market that works, and I'm really proud of it. It's probably the best product we've ever made. So I think 15 is a good start. Don't you think when they have bad fibro, they haven't had it resolved, the symptoms resolved yet? Start low, go slow with the copper balance. Start low, go slow with the glutathione, and go up slowly. But then try and get it up to 10 or 12 with the copper balance for a day or two, and maybe 30, 40 squirts of the glutathione for a day or two.
Yeah.
And by then you should be pretty much symptom free, though we should have started with avoiding copper foods to begin with. So is that about some of them?
Yeah, I tell everybody to start with the low copper diet. Start eliminating your high copper foods.
And you really focus on that well with your thing you do, your little
With her
Yeah.
fan
page.
page.
Well, yeah, starting the page.
Fan page.
Lots of questions came in, so I just started looking things up, and we literally just adjusted the list again. So check it periodically because we're going to continue to add things to both sides, the yes and the avoid list, so that as we learn about them, this is going to be ongoing.
Well, so many fibro patients, when they first come in, are like, yeah, all I live on is kale salad, kale smoothies, green smoothies with kale, spinach. I pour some
Avocado.
coppers in there, avocado.
Yeah.
Put some
They're
chickpeas.
they're
Put some
basically
shrimp in there.
Almonds.
almonds.
Yeah.
They're basically eating
Copper.
about 40 pennies of copper a day. Is that about right? Yeah.
I know I was. So, but there's so many foods that are higher in copper, and so I mean those are great places to start. But it's really
It's free to start that.
yes, and it doesn't cost you anything,
And it helps so
Saves
much.
you some money.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
food tends to be more expensive.
Yeah, and what I tell people is start there, and so many people have responded back on the page saying after 3 or 4 days they noticed a difference, and so at least then you're on the right track, and you didn't have to spend any money. And so, but there are so many foods that you really have to.
So is a big cinnamon roll from like Main Street Bakery in Disney Magic Kingdom, is that all right to eat?
I don't know what kind of flour they use.
What about camel milk? Didn't we just learn about camel
Yeah,
milk?
somebody asked me about camel
So
milk.
if you go to Epcot to the what is that area called where they have the orange, where we ate that one night, where they have the restaurants, the Middle Eastern
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, that was so good.
Is that Saudi Arabia? What is that?
No,
Arabia?
Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah.
Morocco, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get a camel milk milkshake there?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, somebody asked if camel milk was okay, so I looked it up, and it is on the yes list, so we can have camel milk. I don't know where
I'm
to
sure
get it.
everyone's excited like
yeah.
crazy after that one.
Yeah.
Great substitution.
Yeah.
Well, it's
No more
better than
in the
almond milk.
morning.
Yeah.
Let me give you a major tip. If you have fibromyalgia and you're drinking almond milk, that could be why
Yeah.
you've got fibro.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so as I continued, I even realized up until several months ago that I was still eating very regularly some higher copper foods. And so as I got, just really focused on the yes list.
What about Twinkies?
I haven't had a Twinkie in
You
years.
shouldn't eat those anyway, Dr. Purser. Come on.
I just wonder.
I don't know. Probably not.
I would never eat one.
My guess is it's probably made with enriched flour, which would be a no. So
I never eat Twinkies. That enemy does.
but yeah, so focus on that, and what I found was that the remnants of pain generally. I mean, that really pushed me to essentially no pain days.
So you eat like a twig and some camel milk.
No, and I know it sounds really daunting at first, and I felt that same way. But what I'm learning is that we're relearning how to eat. I'm eating foods that I haven't eaten in a long time that were bad for you, but the foods that were good for me weren't good for me. And so, and that's why we're doing the cookbook for those who don't know.
So you used to be bedridden like a lot of really ill fibro patients.
Yeah.
It was bad news.
Yeah.
What was that about? You just laid there and hurt?
Yeah, you would have to. I would have to psych myself up to get up and make my kids peanut butter sandwiches for lunch. I would spend 30 minutes
They have no idea how you suffered. I don't think.
No. Well, they were. Yeah, no.
They're kids.
Yeah, but my parents moved to help me, and I was very
What do
lucky.
your parents
in that
think of
way.
you now? They're shocked.
Yeah, they're amazed. They're happy. My dad keeps telling me to move to Hawaii. It's like,
gonna
move
get
to
rid of
Hawaii.
that.
You love it there. And I
Coconut
know.
milk and spinach grows everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no camel milk in Hawaii.
No.
What's your pain? So your pain level is probably 8 or 9 or 10 then.
Yes.
What do you think it is now, roughly?
Most of the time, I would say I have no pain days. So depending on, I think weather still can, but even when I have a pain day, I'm probably a bigger baby about it now, to be completely honest, because even if I do have a slight flare or something, it's nothing compared to what it used to be.
So, listen to her. For all you men out there who don't believe in fibro and think your wives are just whiny butts or whatever, or doctors who happen to be listening to this, fibro's real.
Yeah.
And so, naturopaths for years, I know, the way we came up with this whole system, I guess you'd call it, naturopaths for years thought copper toxicity was an issue with fibromyalgia. Very smart of them. And there's studies that would indicate that. I have it in my book, that copper fibromyalgia book I've got on sale. A number of studies, and we concluded all this first study we did and everything. And I'm the one who figured out it's got to be the copper metallothionein. There's actually 23 metallothioneins. One of them's copper, and it moves copper around. And something's dysfunctional about your copper. It could be that you don't have enough reduced glutathione. That's a big part of the copper metallothionein. It could be that you don't have enough molybdenum. It could be you don't have enough zinc or boron or whatever. One of those things is the missing piece.
Right.
And so that's why copper balance is just a shotgun approach. I think I said that
Someone's knocking at our door.
someone's knocking at the studio door. And our servant answered it.
Your wife, wow.
Oh, you said that, not me.
Oh boy.
She's actually the boss.
She
Let's
is.
try to sound special.
Oh, I know. Sorry. Sorry.
I'm glad you brought up husbands who don't believe, because I think, and it's not just husbands, a lot of people don't understand.
I think there's a lot of doctors. So many women
Yeah.
and men have told me that they went in to see their doctors. Like, it's all in your head. Take an antidepressant.
And I
do
had
this
that
and that.
experience too, yeah.
Are you kidding me? I mean, so Denise is my second wife, and I hopefully find a wife, and
You're off with there, aren't you, Dr.
You guys
Person?
got me
We
going.
gave him too much energy. We let him off work early today.
Okay, so
He's not falling asleep. He's making too many jokes.
So, and she told me about 6 months after we're married, she's like, I have fibromyalgia. And I'm like, what? I never knew she worked out like 2 hours a day and everything else. And she had it bad. And she really covered it up with her workouts and everything else. But she would be bedridden some days. She was tough as nails, tougher than me. And so I kind of did this I really wanted to figure this out, and it was for her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and so she doesn't have many pain days now either, hardly any. She'll go out and eat, and the food always is what gets her.
Food or weather.
That's
weather
she
and
said,
stress. Stress is a big thing.
You
that
can't,
happens.
so nothing you can do to get around that.
No, but again, it's lesser
It's a
than
lot
what it was.
milder,
It's
much
it's
milder.
manageable now. You know, it doesn't send me to bed for a week, and you know.
So you started this Facebook fan page because you really think I'm the best doctor ever.
I do.
And
I think you're amazing.
no, I'm kidding. You did it. You're just trying to pay back, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I just want to help as many people as I can. I mean, I watch how you do handle your practice, and you're so giving all the time.
Well, you know, thank you. I like that we're just doing this. I don't, you know, and occasionally I do see a fibro patient, but I always refer them to your fan page now. So.
Yeah. But I know that I went through many doctors over many years.
And they cared and they were professional.
Well, some did and some didn't. Some were wonderful and were really trying hard to help me and with what they knew. Some were, you're just depressed. And I always go, hell yeah, I'm depressed. I feel like I'm dying every day. So yeah, it's a little depressing. But if I can help people, if I can help people get some shortcuts to, I know that this works because I am an example. I know that this works because I know other people that are examples. And so if we can help people get this information more easily and more accessible, not everyone can afford to see a doctor like you. Not everybody can afford to have all the testing and everything that people want.
I don't know that
think
it's
they
as
need.
quite as necessary as I used to think.
Well, that's why I say think some people have
They
very
do.
strong opinions,
Yeah,
and that's
no, they
okay.
won't. Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's you know, we all have our ways, but that is not possible for probably most people,
Right.
I would say. And so this is the most inexpensive treatment I've ever had, and it's the most successful treatment I've ever had. So if you can simply limit copper from your diet and take some vitamins, essentially, that's
Which
all.
is really, we're just trying to get your methylphenidate to work. Okay.
Right,
yeah.
yes, but they get your body to create or to work properly, and you don't have to take all these prescriptions because I had handfuls of prescriptions
Right.
every day. So why not try?
Plus, you can walk all around Disney World and Disneyland.
I can, and
So-
the countdown is on.
So, any of you who think all this sounds like tomfoolery and gobbledygook, go to PubMed and look up copper methylphenidate. Look at all the studies on copper methylphenidate. That's what I did when I was trying to figure this out. And then look up methylphenidate, copper methylphenidate, and molybdenum. Or then look up copper methylphenidate and glutathione and see where all this falls. You'll see, and boron and zinc and all this. It's all critical to the functionality of methylphenidate. This is kind of hardcore science backing all this. Well, it is. And we're, again, and it's several national pain associations. We're supposed to do a bigger study. I'm going to probably be like, go watch this group first and let's figure out how you want to do the study.
Yeah.
You know, all you docs who had these societies and watch the group, you've really created a community of people. And I'm watching tons of people get better and better and better.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really doing well.
Well,
on
and
there.
I mean we've only maybe pushing 3 months I've had the page up, and we are starting to get more and more responses and people saying, you know, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. This is, you know, I cut this out and I've only, you know, I haven't even gotten my supplements yet, but by limiting my copper foods, I'm already feeling better. And so,
Don't you think we should, in a year or two, have a day at either maybe one at Disneyland and one at Disney World for all the people who've had their fibromyalgia symptoms
well,
wiped
that
out?
would be fun.
It could be
Yeah.
the Lois Schweigert day at Disneyland
Disney.
for fibromyalgia survivors, and I'll be there to answer questions or something. We could do something like that.
And I want to point out also, this isn't a cure, and you say that all the time.
That's not a cure.
And, you know,
I can't cure you. I don't know that you can be cured. You can just be controlled.
maybe someday. We'll see. But yeah, but for now, I mean, if I don't take my supplements for a few days, I can tell. So I know some people have asked, you know, do I have to take these forever? Yeah.
And you don't have to buy my stuff. You can get I think there's 7 or 8 parts to Copper Balance. Go buy all those off Amazon. Don't support me. I don't know what you're going to do about the glutathione because we're the only functional one on the market, but the only validated one, the only patented one out there. So I don't know what you're going to do about that, but yeah, you don't have to buy Copper Balance. Just try the molybdenum or try the boron or try the zinc or I mean, why just put those together after we did that study? Because it's easier for a fibro patient to order one product than me to try and help them order 9.
Right.
Or 8.
Well, and you know, Denise and I were talking, we were taking handfuls of pills before you put them together into one. So now I take a small handful instead of 3, but it's much better that way. But yeah, you know, we were doing it with other things before you created the Copper Balance and just simplified it really.
Yeah. So and it's a small price to pay if you want to feel better.
Yeah.
Avoid the foods assiduously. So do you have questions?
Yeah, we got a lot.
Thank you for telling us that.
No, that's awesome.
That was a good conversation.
We had lots of people saying, "Yay, Lois! We love Lois." So
yay! Thanks.
Not you. Just kidding. Just kidding. They always love you.
You know what? One thing I did want to talk
They'll
about
love me.
that I've been getting a lot recently is detoxing. And so if you could explain a little bit about people saying, do I need to do like a copper detox, or someone asking about like a chelation therapy?
No.
Oh.
You're doing it essentially.
With that's explain about
the
the VARs.
glutathione, the VARs glutathione. Glutathione is the central part of the metallothionein, and it helps you detox. It moves the copper to where it should be. It moves everything to where it should be. If it shouldn't be in your body, the glutathione is the master detox. The FDA lets us say that, and we developed the VARs glutathione for the fibromyalgia study we did because we needed a functional, validated, absorbable, reduced, stable, that's VARs by the way, glutathione for the study, so it will detox you. That and the methylation support, whichever way you go with it, whether it's our MTHFR support or Support Plus, or all the others that are out there, Ben Lynch's Homocystics Plus, Designs for Health stuff, whatever you take, we think we have the best one, but it may not be the best for you. But once you get your methylation genetic errors lined up, it'll help you detox more appropriately. Mm-hmm. And so the glutathione and the Copper Balance and all that's your detoxing, please don't spend any more money than you have to. I mean, so we get on one hand, people that can't even afford the glutathione or the Copper Balance. And on the other hand, we get people wanting to do expensive detoxes. Don't do them. Mm-hmm. Don't. Just you're detoxing naturally. Example.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm trying to save you money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of questions about that, and that's why I wanted to address how the VARs works.
It's been
for
addressed.
That. Yeah.
And if you ask me, I'll tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Bracken.
We've gotten a lot of questions about, is the VARs and all your other products completely gluten-free or soy-free and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
So yes, they are.
Yes.
Just wanted to confirm. We also have had a lot of questions about like how you know what to start with first on supplement-wise. Like, do you have recommendations on with fibro? Do you say start with VARs first, start with copper first, start with both of them?
What do you think?
What I say is start with the low copper diet, then add the Copper Balance and VARs together. That's what.
If you got a choice, of course I agree with the diet, but But I'd say just do the glutathione first.
I was going to say, if you had to pick, I would say the glutathione.
Yeah,
because
and
it's
then add the copper
detoxing and
balance.
and helping get it out of you.
And like in this one video we've been shooting with this one severe fibro case that now is 90% better. We'll get her to 100 here shortly, but she said she had no more pain, no more problems, except for she was exhausted, fatigued all the time. I'm like, we haven't really addressed your methylation issues. Yeah. And when we did that, it was like the big lights went on.
Right.
And she's like, wow, I dramatically improved. I'm taking 3 MTHFR Sport, 1 MTHFR Sport Plus, and I feel amazing.
Yeah.
So, and that deals with the chronic fatigue part of the fibro.
Right.
It's really a 2-pronged approach.
Right. Well, and I think they're two different. My understanding is they're two different things.
Probably.
So you have to.
But together they're a nightmare, and that's what causes real.
Yes.
I haven't found them separate yet, but still, they are kind of 2 different things.
Yeah.
This is an interesting question. Is bars as effective topically? I just thought I'd ask this because we're soon going to be coming out with a cosmetic version that you can put on topically.
I can't deny or answer that.
But I just thought I'd let people know.
We validated for our patent. You can look up our patent both ways, and it works both ways. That's all I'll say.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to get in trouble with the FTC or FDA.
Awesome. So just to, go back to your last question. You'd say the most beneficial first would be
VARS
VARS.
glutathione.
Okay, people were just asking. Okay.
Because it will start the detox process, and there's no way you can overdose on it. It's completely safe, and it's harmless.
Cool. Sorry, got a lot of questions. Can you have fibro so severe and symptoms that are so bad that even touching or eating something will just make you hurt? And what do you recommend for that?
Yeah, we're both saying yes.
Yes.
So what do you recommend?
Start with the glutathione.
Low copper diet.
And low copper diet.
Get the copper at that honestly, you can be taking
lots of water and the copper diet.
Yeah,
diet.
but if you're taking all this stuff, I explained this to someone, we were talking about this, and I said it's like a hamster wheel, and you're just chasing yourself. If you are still eating high copper foods regularly, you can indulge occasionally once you have it managed. Rarely, occasionally, yeah, but you're just on the hamster wheel. If you're dumping copper back into your body and you're taking all of that, you're still going to have a higher level of pain. You're still going to struggle. So you have to look at all of the supplements that you ingest, and everything that you're eating, and there are wonderful products out there, but we're not saying that they're not wonderful products and they do wonderful things for people.
But because of your genetics, you cannot or should not eat them.
And so,
It's your genetics. Sorry, it's not the problem with the product.
The product is a great product.
Yeah,
but
there's some great products. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But the diet is for long-term success. My experience is you got to do the diet. You got to restrict the copper in your diet.
Because my wife can be doing great, but if she eats the wrong food, she flares.
Yeah.
And then that's it for a day or two.
And I know I've also had a lot of people recently saying, how much copper should you eat a day? And this was my response to this. There's no one answer because we all have different errors and different amounts of errors.
We're all different sizes. We're all different.
Yeah, and so there is a level of this that is going to be individual, and you might be able to handle a little bit more copper than I can, or vice versa. And so you have to figure out your dose of the supplements, and you have to figure out how often you can have a cheat day or a cheat food, or
just know that there might be a price to be paid.
Yeah, but there will be, because you have to experiment.
Does cheesecake have copper in it?
I don't think so. Most dairy, what? I don't think so.
Cheesecake is safe, people.
Well, because most dairy, and when I say dairy, I'm saying cow dairy, because we actually just found out that goat's milk and goat cheese, which is, I never cared for it, so I never looked it up before, but somebody asked about it.
Isn't that camel just a really big goat?
Well, apparently not, because it's okay. But most dairy is low copper.
So when they say the camel is the goat of the desert,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but you can drink camel milk. That's all I do know.
Yay for
We
camel
should.
milk.
Can we do that and sell it on Amazon?
What, camel milk?
Yeah, little containers of it that have been. You know how they
You have to drink it every day for a month, and then we can sell it. How about that?
chocolate camel milk could be.
Just plain, unfiltered, unpasteurized camel
How
milk.
about banana flavored, like Nestle Quick banana? Okay.
This is
So
getting
skip that idea.
disturbing. How can you fix the debilitating fatigue that accompanies fibro?
MTHFR. Got to deal with your methylation problems, right?
Yes.
My wife taught me that one day. She's like, Dan, if you don't deal with the methylation problems and the fibro, you'll never get rid of the fibro symptoms. You'll never. It's the biggest. It's a big part of it. It's half of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bingo. Thank you for making that clear.
Mm-hmm.
And because Ben Lynch says they don't go together, I can't find them apart. It's like Twinkies and goat milk. They're all camel milk. They're always together.
Almost.
John says, "Yay for camel milk! It tastes like cow milk." So,
Well, there you go.
John, you're the man.
John,
Maybe
you
we'll
are.
If you have
Start-
camels, we can milk.
Whoever asked me about the camel milk, if you see this, let us know where you get camel milk.
Yeah, and suddenly I see a big market for camel
Yeah,
milk.
there could be.
You know how the government makes those little things of milk that
Yeah.
lasts forever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking some camel milk.
Some
with
camel
that.
milk
Okay.
might be good.
Pasteurized camel milk,
There you go.
not raw.
Not raw. Do you think fibromyalgia and gut health are linked in some way?
Yeah,
In what way?
a lot of different ways. Like I see a lot of unhealthy guts because they have a bad B12 deficiency due to their methylation problems, due to their MTHFR. B12 deficiency will cause horrible stomach, gut, digestive problems, and it's really common. I saw two of them today with that, and they both had B12 deficiencies on Spectracell that were significant.
Well, I had bad
bad
gut.
B-
I
yeah.
had bad gut issues. I had no B12 either. I was severely deficient in that. But I don't have IBS anymore. I don't
Right.
have any of that.
If you think you have IBS, you better think you have an intracellular B12 deficiency or some kind of B vitamin, probably B12.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I do still use probiotics and prebiotics, but I did then too, and that never changed my situation.
Right, but the B12 will.
Well,
And I still
this-
suggest prebiotics and probiotics. I agree.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
Pro 9 from Young Living or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Life 9, sorry.
People are talking about the camel milk, so it's making me laugh. Amanda said we could take canteens of camel milk to Disney.
There you go.
So it's a camel milk.
To eat with our cinnamon rolls.
You eat with the giant cinnamon rolls
Yeah.
from the Main Street Bakery.
Yeah, there
and
you go.
cheesecake.
There you
I
go.
think I'm mapping out this Disney event. You could have camel milk with camel milk cheesecake.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, we don't have.
Can you talk to Mike about that? The
I
chef
know.
dude?
Yeah.
You better have some camel milk
I
recipes.
wonder if
in
he's
the
ever
book.
heard of
No.
camel milk. Yeah, we'll have to find
They
out.
should be in your book. If
Yeah.
they're not,
We'll see.
camel milk recipes, yeah.
Yeah.
Camel milk porridge.
Okay.
No? Okay.
Let's keep moving on from the camel milk. What about fibro and weight loss?
Interesting.
Interesting.
We just had a conversation last night.
So if you deal with your methylation problems, let's say you got your fibro, like the patient we've been videotaping, or we don't use videotape, we use
We've
our
been video
iPhone.
chatting.
We iPhone her, yeah. So now that her pain is gone, now that we're dealing with her fatigue, that's a methylation problem. And so when you have a severe methylation problem, when you have bad methylation issues or bad MTHFR genetic errors, you don't make as much ATP, you don't make energy appropriately. And it can be, so let me explain this a little better. It's in my book, The 85% Solution on methylation. You should get this. All you ladies and people who have fibro should get that book too, because you have MTHFR or some form of it, some other methylation form. But let me back up. When you have a methylation problem, you don't produce correct amount of ATP according to the carbohydrates you take in. Let me back it up again. A normal human with no methylation problems when they take in one carbohydrate molecule, it's like taking in crude oil. We have to convert it to unleaded gasoline in our body.
Right.
We can't use crude oil in our cars, and we can't use carbohydrates in our body. We have to convert them to ATP. And we do that through the methylation process. We do that inside our cells, inside the nucleus, inside the mitochondria, inside the Krebs cycle, the methylation process. And they'll create 32 ATP, but most of you fibro patients and everyone with MTHFR, you're creating a lot less. Your other methylation problems, they can all add up. You might create 3 ATP or 5 or 10. That's usually, I can't remember the last time I saw anyone who created more than 10 ATP, or they don't, why would they come to see me? If they create more than that, they feel pretty good. But most of you patients are creating 2 or 3 ATP, and the rest goes to fat. So you eat minimal amounts. And it's not goat milk you're eating. It's kale and spinach and little things like that, because you've heard they were healthy, and you get caught in a vicious spiral. So when you increase your methylation, when you get to that point, the calories and the fat just drop off. My average patient loses 30 to 70 pounds when we deal with their methylation problems appropriately, and they're not even dieting. They're just starting to burn calories more efficiently, and they burn off a lot of fat. So deal with your methylation problems, and it's kind of magic. Because you used to weigh 600, and now you weigh 120.
Wow.
120, right? 120.
I think that tops the.
No, it hasn't been that easy for me. I wish it was, but
Well, now
I will
we're dealing
say,
with your methylation
yeah, well,
problem.
yeah, it's getting better. But I will say that, like, I finally am at a place where my weight is beginning to shift in a positive direction. Yes, I was not. I did lose a couple 100 pounds a few years ago, though.
Did you really?
Well, that ex-husband I got rid of.
Good.
That was cool.
I got rid of him.
That was
That's
cool.
hilarious.
But
Sorry, ex-husbands out there, we're not discriminating.
well, but I had been thinking, and we were talking about this last night, actually. So we might as well ask now. Because so many people are struggling with their weight from being inactive and feeling bad and being bedridden and all, seems to be a common denominator. I was thinking about starting a second private group through the End Fibromyalgia page that is like a weight loss support.
Well, it's good. But why? But until they feel good enough to move around, until their pain levels, let's say below a 2 or a 3.
Well, yeah, you're not going to be able to do anything,
Right.
so you've got to
then
get
you can start going walking, then you can start getting your life back, then you can run marathons, then you can...
Yeah, and I don't want to promote a specific diet other than low copper.
I will. I like paleo, and I like fasting, intermittent fasting at night, and Atkins, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Atkins or paleo is about the limit of what I suggest, and the intermittent fasting for 12 to 16 hours every night. That you can drink all the water you want, just don't eat anything.
Yeah, anything below 50 calories.
Yeah.
But as a way for us to maybe have a little more support in generalized, conversation specifically about that. So if that's something that you're interested in, let us know the response, and if we have enough people that want to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You've got enough to do now, don't you?
Well, it's all
Okay.
good.
It's good. People
It's
always want
easy,
This is
support.
going to become your life and your grandkids, right?
Yeah.
In Disneyland.
And Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need some camel milk.
No.
Pasteurized camel milk and cheesecake. Disney
There you
cheesecake.
You had someone who's like, yes, camel milk cheesecake. John Garbutt. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Camel milk cheesecake, and he had emojis after it that were very happy.
Talk to Mike about that. Can he we want a video. That'd be hilarious. And if I'm making camel milk cheesecake, but you got to milk the camel.
Yeah.
No, you're going down in milk.
Well, she lives in
cheesecake.
Arizona.
That's
You
true.
know they have camels there somewhere.
Somewhere.
They don't have them here in Utah.
We've gotten a lot of questions. I know
Okay, go
all
ahead.
the list
Rush
is,
through 'em.
Sorry. Well, no, I just think this is an important question because I've gotten a lot tonight. And I know the list is on the Facebook page, but why don't you guys talk about some of the most known copper foods that most people are eating that they shouldn't be? So, does that make sense?
Yeah. So I would say
Green smoothie shake.
proteins, dark meat poultry is the avoid. Or should we just focus on the yeses? I don't know. What's
I
easier?
would maybe focus on the avoids because those are the
Kale,
yeah.
spinach,
Well, yeah.
almonds, cashews, shellfish, chickpeas like hummus. No hummus.
Yeah. But there's so much more.
I know.
There's so much more. So off the top of my head, I obviously don't have it all memorized, but Brussels sprouts are
Wait,
an
what?
avoid. I know.
George W. loves
Asparagus
Brussels
is
sprouts.
so I mean, there's a lot of things like those mushrooms,
potatoes.
Potatoes.
No more French fries.
Yeah.
I didn't like them anymore.
Blackberries. That was one thing that I didn't realize because I was.
Oh no!
Well, I can have copper. I love blackberries.
But
don't eat
I
potatoes.
weekly bought blackberries at the grocery store. But you can have. Oh, thank you. You can have blueberries and raspberries and strawberries, and so you just have to kind of start trading the things that you can have for the things that you can't. And
Thank you, fine assistant, our lovely assistant.
yeah, and so
And door answer.
nut butters. That's a hard one too.
Like-
and I tried everything. I kept
Nut butter's like the cookie. What are those called?
no
Nutter
like
butters.
almond butter, cashew butter,
Those are the
peanut
major.
butter.
Wait, what?
I know it's
Major
terrible.
stress.
And I tried.
Watch Denise avoid peanut butter, nuts, butter. She won't touch any of them now.
No, me
I
neither.
might have just a bite, just a little, like I go crazy and I just need a little taste.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Shellfish. Whitefish is a yes. So salmon is an avoid.
Salmon?
Ahi tuna is an avoid. I know. And one thing that I look, they say seaweed is low in copper, but nori, which is the seaweed paper that for sushi, is high in copper.
Okay.
So it must be something, an additive or something that they put in it to
Preserving.
preserve it in its form or something. Artichoke, asparagus, bean sprouts, beets, Brussels sprouts, canned tomato products, kale, mushrooms, parsnips, potatoes, all varieties, pumpkin, peas, spinach, yellow peppers.
So the pumpkin spice donuts that they sell at
Krispy
Krispy
Kreme.
Kreme.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on if it has actual pumpkin in it or pumpkin flavoring. I don't know.
It'd be real pumpkin. They don't mess around over there.
Yeah.
It's
Summer
real
squashes
They're
are
the best donuts
Yeah.
ever.
are high in copper.
Denise.
A purser love.
What else is high in copper? Oh, fruits. And a lot of these were things that I was eating. Avocado, apricots.
Avocados are really bad in copper.
They're like
leader.
84% or something. It's a really high per serving. So yeah, and we do the 9.
Oh yeah. Explain. Yeah.
So when I'm looking things up, and I don't have them listed all here because I don't have that kind of time, but I say to everybody, moderation, moderation, moderation. If you look at your plate, and we all know what's a reasonable amount of food. So, but 9% daily value per serving. So, just be reasonable in your choices.
Or
So
what are some good things to eat?
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
squid.
Yeah.
No.
That's a dark meat.
So yeah. Squid
Comes from the dark
Squid is
depths.
on the nose. So beef, white meat, chicken, and eggs. I haven't been very sick. I use a straight protein powder. Protein powders as long as it's 9%.
How do you get a white steak?
No, beef is okay.
Okay.
Beef is okay. Yeah.
The white buffalo.
White beef. Okay, so that broccoli is good. Broccoli rabe, cabbage. Most lettuces are all good that I have found, but kale and spinach are on the no-go.
Where's pizza?
We actually got that question. Someone asked us pizza.
So here's the
okay.
problem. Pizza, the marinara sauce, if it's made with fresh tomatoes, it's probably okay. If it's made from canned tomatoes, it's probably not. So,
Heads
Good
up.
luck.
and that's a day where you
And the
eat,
bread,
you
and
really
the
want pizza,
crust.
you eat extra copper balance, and you have some pizza.
Spray extra glutathione all over your mouth.
Jalapenos are a yes. Olives, onions, garlic, herbs, those are all yeses. So
Italian
you can
foods,
eat.
Italian, like olive oil, all that kind of
All the
stuff.
oils are okay. So even like coconut is on the avoid list, but coconut oil is a yes.
I'm just going to say really fresh cooking, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. chop it up. It doesn't take that much longer.
Right.
Saute it up in your own pan.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of joy in my kitchen, even working, even a mother of a multitude and a grandmother. I'm refinding a whole new love of cooking and having to be creative and experiment with my family, and generally it goes over pretty good.
Yeah.
There's obviously some cravings for things that are no-nos, but inhaling it deeply is okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But whole food nutrition. So that's why I said the cookbook that we're focusing on: whole food nutrition, avoiding enriched foods. Processed foods are generally probably going to be high in copper, and they're not really good for you anyway. So the cookbook that we're focusing on are quick, easy, family-friendly recipes, low copper, whole food nutrition. So from there, if you have specific needs, you're going to have to go from there to manipulate it from there. But
Okay. Thank you. Good.
That's
Good
great.
one.
okay.
Okay. Ask questions. So rapid fire.
Okay, yeah, rapid fire. What, when taking MTHFR support, what are some signs that it's working, and how do we know we need to start upping the dose?
You get more and more energy every time you go up. You should keep going up once a week. So my rules are with vitamins: only decrease, increase, stop, start one thing a week. You're allowed one change every week. So if you're going up, if you're in the process of going up on your methylation support, whatever that is, whether it be our MTHFR support or MTHFR support plus, keep going up until you overmethylate. You might get to 7 a day and then you overmethylate. You might get to 8. I had a patient on 9 forever before she overmethylated. It took her a year to overmethylate. She stayed on 9 just because she couldn't afford to go up any higher. And then finally she overmethylated. Now I think she takes 3 a day, but she had to fill those wells. She had really bad deficiencies in all
What
her
does
cells.
over-methylating look like?
I get really sleepy, and or some people get really anxious or sleepy. A lot of people get sleepy. It's like, I can take 5 naps a day. So you go energy, higher energy, great energy, wow, I feel incredible. Who invented this stuff? And then you're like, oh man, I'm going to kill Dr. Purser if I find him because I feel horrible. That's when you got to remember this. I said this, you're overmethylating. Cut back, start cutting back. You may cut back from 9 to 8 for a week and go, no, it's not right. 8 to 7, 7 to 6, whatever. Or maybe you got to 4 and that was too much. You had to cut back to 3. But you'll do that for about a year, maybe 3 months to 9 months or a year. And then all your cells will fill up, but you got to do it again. You got to decrease again because you'll start overmethylating consistently. So that's how you get better.
Cool.
And then you're a skinny, marathon running, soccer mom, playing whatever.
Even if you're a soccer dad.
Soccer dad. Not a mom.
Can you explain why their copper would be found lower, but they still need to watch their copper foods?
It could be. Well, did they do the NCC? Was it done correctly?
They weren't specific, but you can
But
explain.
also, that's a really good question because I have 5 patients like that. There are probably more out there, and they have. Now I'm suggesting that Genova toxic elements test. It's a urine test, 24-hour urine test. It shows cadmium, uranium, all these bad metals, and usually these people are toxic in 3 or 4 metals. They've just got something desperately wrong with their ability to detox. And I just put them on a lot of glutathione because there's really no better way to detox, and have them drink a lot of water. And copper balance might help their other metallothioneins function. So maybe take that. Usually it doesn't help that much. They just need a lot of glutathione. And yeah, they could go for chelation. I just don't, no studies have shown it helps.
Yeah.
Well, glutathione definitely helps. We have studies that we've done ourselves that show it. So,
That's good.
but get that test and you'll know if your copper is low. You can call our office and get it. It's not expensive. So it's under $200. So, and we'll ship it to you. You got to pee for 24 hours and catch it and put it in this. It's just, the instructions are all included. It's really easy. But it'll tell you what other metals you're toxic in, which is interesting.
Yeah.
That is. Can fibro cause a body rash? Have you found that?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Another question.
I'm not surprised by anything anymore.
Yeah.
Are you? I mean,
No, well, I think there's so many symptoms, and we're all different. We don't all have the same symptoms,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, but think about it. If you're toxic in bismuth or cadmium or lead or something, you're going to have weird rashes. So maybe they're one of those.
That's true. Someone just asked, so is the methylation copper problem more common in women than men? Just because she's more found that more women have fibro.
It is.
But you'd say you have male patients who have both.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 7% of fibro cases are male. So, but men are weenies, and they maybe I don't know, maybe they just get hooked on drugs and go away.
Yeah.
Who knows? They don't try and fight the fight. Like, women have no choice. They're raising kids. They're supporting their husbands. They're taking care of the house. They're taking care of a job. They're doing all that, and they still are in agony every day. That's about right.
Yeah.
And they have no choice because that man's not going to take it. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of good dads out there, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I'll shut up at that point.
Can fibro cause chronic dizziness? Or dizziness?
Like a B12 and B3 and some other vitamins would.
Interesting. Good to know.
Sorry, were you ever dizzy?
I don't think so.
I feel like I've had that.
Well,
I'm
dizzy
just
blonde.
everything. Oh, thanks.
That's my wife.
Oh, sorry. He's a dizzy blonde too.
What supplement do you think helps most with fatigue, or is it a combo of them? That will help. What do you think?
Don't you think support your methylation, whether it be, again, like Ben Lynch's stuff or Amy Yasko's stuff or our stuff, which I think is the best out there. Get on a good base support product for your methylation. MTHFR Support, ours is really good. Try that or the Support Plus. It's milder, has fewer methyl groups, harder to over-methylate on that, and try it. If you're one of the 1 out of 100 who just react to whatever base support you've got on, then you need to just start trying just to take B12 and methylated B12 and go up really slowly. You get the liquid drops. Pure Encapsulations makes them, and they're on Amazon. Or you can try the liquid folate drops. Or you can go with folinic acid tablets or lozenges. Ben Lynch Seeking Health Company has those. So. Folinic acid is the most natural form of folate. So.
Yeah. How do you get off the antidepressants that you've been...
That's between you and your doctor.
Cool.
If you're my patient, you've flown to Utah, you've seen me, all that, I'll help you get off it. But first you got to get solid on your fibro and your methylation. And then you'll feel like this is easy, you just go off them. There are a lot of addicting ones out there now. Lyrica, Cymbalta, Zoloft, stuff like that. They're really problematic.
Yeah.
Not to say they're not helpful, they're just problematic.
What kind of testing should you start with if you're interested in looking into?
Well, let's see where your copper ceruloplasmin and zinc levels are. That allows me to do the NCC. If you really want to know where your copper levels are, then let's do a SpectraCell micronutrient panel, which looks at all your intracellular vitamins, minerals, amino acids. We just did one today again on Lois.
Yeah.
And you should get those
I have a
regularly.
question.
You bet.
So, what tests can they go if they have a regular doctor that their insurance will cover?
Those
if they
three.
can't come to you.
The zinc, ceruloplasmin, and copper level.
So if they go and they say these are the tests I want, and then they have to use the NCC formula when they get the results back.
Right.
Okay. Which is found
on your
in the announcement section on the private page.
Yeah, so you can do it.
So you'll have the food list and the NCC formula.
Yeah,
there.
and you got to do your math right. It's really touchy, but and the third thing I would get is the methylation testing. It's a couple $100 now, and it's really appropriate and works really well.
So people were wondering, how does it compare to 23andMe?
It's almost the 23andMe's good luck.
More
It's
general.
it's not private. It's extremely general, and it's not targeted at these particularly troublesome methylation problems that I can still do something about.
Mine did come up and say that I had both genetic MTHFR errors, but that was prior to you having the test that you have available now.
Which is a lot better.
Yeah.
About the same price. Plus, the 23andMe takes
Months.
8 weeks, 10 weeks, and then ours takes 10 days. So the test I use, and it's Kendall Stewart's work down in Texas. You've seen, I've had other videos and Facebook Lives about it. So it's just a really good test. It's cheap.
I also want to point, because I've had a few people ask me, and if their doctors can test for MTHFR. And I say yes because I actually had my doctor do the blood
They
work.
can.
But pause, because I asked him if he could do it, and he said absolutely, but it wasn't until afterwards that I got the $800 bill and found out that it was not covered by my insurance company. So before you jump that gun, ask them if it's covered, because it might be cheaper. I mean, if you, for $200, you can get your test and get the same answer.
The other
So
thing
just
is,
be cautious how you proceed that
there's
way.
15 other methylation tests that you should check. It's not just that one. But-
Yeah.
So I look at all 16 when I do it.
Yeah.
So.
So, but it's just something, because if they don't, if it's something that their doctor can do that's covered and they don't have to have out-of-pocket money, great.
They do.
But it might not be the case, and they might not tell you ahead of time. So make sure you
And
understand.
what do you do if it comes back negative yet you still have fatigue? Then you're going to wonder, do I have the other methylation
Well,
problems?
that's true
I'm going to
too,
have to
yeah.
call Purser now and
Well,
get that
that's
done.
that's probable.
Yeah.
You recommend the SpectraCell test too, right?
I love that test. We use it in research, and it's a great test. There's nothing else like it. Sorry. So they've heard all the tests.
Yeah.
The Genova toxic element test is when, if your copper level comes back to the NCC and it's not high, there you have some metal problem. I'm just about guaranteed. I've never found it to be otherwise. So.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. There've been all these questions.
Just blurt one out.
I know. There's people are saying the same questions though, so make sure you go over and watch this video again, because he's been answering throughout the whole time with Lois. Does the MTHFR product deal with other mutant genes that cause a lot of the same issues?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good shotgun approach to cover almost all methylation problems. COMT and some of the other areas too, it helps with. But you need good genetic counseling by a physician who knows what they're doing with this.
People are wondering if you take HSA in your office.
I believe so, don't we, Denise?
You take HSA, but you don't take any other forms of insurance.
Yeah, I
So,
think it's just
just heads up.
I don't want, you know what, I chose a long time ago not to deal with it. It's just, they wouldn't pay me for any of this anyway. Are you kidding me? They'd laugh.
Yeah.
And then you'd go, sorry, Dr. Purser, you're not covered. I'm like, So I choose not to participate.
Let's just do a couple more, but this person just asked or said, I was diagnosed with NES this last year. Could this simply be a reaction to my body is having to all the stress with fibromyalgia and PCOS, or would it be something else?
NES?
Yeah, NES.
I should know what that means, sorry. I'm gonna look, I'm Googling. Yes, doctors Google too. It's an Italian hotel. I don't know where.
Maybe let's see if she comments what NES is.
It's a Nintendo Entertainment System. I knew that.
We'll move on for a second. Let's see if she.
Sorry, I don't know what NES is.
Yeah.
Yeah, my memory is far from perfect, and really there are 8 million diseases, and they keep adding more during them.
So this lady, she takes D3, B12, flaxseed oil because she's a seafood allergy, I guess. All in 2,000 plus IU dailies. Can she take all that plus the VARs and MTHFR as well?
Yeah,
Cool. So no problem.
no problem. No problem. Sorry, I'm just nodding, and I'm not doing very good radio. Whatever we're doing, podcasting.
And this lady has IC and fibro. She's wondering what the best way to help it is.
All my IC patients have fibromyalgia. You deal with the fibromyalgia and the IC goes away. You got to deal with the hormone issues. See, the HRT issues are significant. You're the worst of the fibromyalgia patients. You're the most ill. You're really fragile, and it's got to be handled really carefully. But I probably have 20 IC patients that we've gotten rid of all their
So what's
symptoms.
IC? I don't know what that is.
Interstitial cystitis. These people will have to urinate 50 to 150 times a day. They can't even leave their houses. They can't go to the grocery store. They're in pain all the time. The doctors do these bladder flushes and just really hard things to them. And it's really, I'll tell you, I think it's a copper metallothionein dysfunction with you too. Because when I deal with your fibromyalgia symptoms and deal with your hormone issues and deal with your MTHFR, which you all have, your symptoms go away. That helps. So we could do a show on IC, but it's just really sad. So if you have friends with IC, have them watch this video, please, and watch this to at least this point where I answer them.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things you can do for IC patients. They can live a normal life. They can be back to normal, but it's not through the normal way. It's just through dealing with these issues carefully.
So the NES is non-epileptic seizures.
Oh, okay.
Epileptic, sorry.
I've had some really high, severe fibro cases, high copper levels, that had seizure disorders. And you know what happened when we got there? And no one knew why they were having seizures, and nothing helped. But when we got their fibromyalgia under control, their seizures stopped. I've had 2 of those.
Man.
So
Possibly.
the problem is some of the seizure meds, some of the neuro ones, are super high in copper, and so they really get into a vicious cycle,
Yeah.
and they will have worse and worse seizures on those meds. So it's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. We're still getting a couple questions, but it's 8:10. Do you want?
Okay, ask me 2 more. Ask us 2 more. Sorry.
I know you guys have talked about this, but we're getting it again. You mentioned excess copper as a cause. Talk more about that and what your supplement does.
It's not excess copper. Well, it's excess copper in the wrong spots. It's really copper not being in the right place. It's a metallothionein dysfunction. The human body has 23 metallothioneins. Some are for physiologic metals, copper being one of them, zinc being another one, stuff like that. And some are for toxic metals like cadmium or mercury or lead, and your body's just trying to get rid of them. We figured this out because patients with fibro have really high serum levels of copper when you run the formula called the NCC, and you can Google that NCC, it's non-cerebral plasma bound copper level. But if I check their intracellular levels, a lot of them, probably 70% or 80%, have really low intracellular levels of copper. And if you give them copper, wow, big mistake. It's not the problem. It's that the copper is not getting into the right spot. It's not getting into their cells. And that's what confused me for a while. I could not figure out why that huge disparity. And finally, I figured out the metallothioneins were what transported the copper around, from the muscles, from the nerves, from the tissues, from the fascia, from everywhere where you hurt, your skin, everything, into the cells where it should go. And then you become normal. It's a genetic problem. We haven't figured out what it was yet, even with all the genetic work we've done. I don't know what's causing it exactly. Maybe it's multifactorial. Maybe it's because you can't make enough glutathione and some other things, because glutathione is a serious, big part of the metallothionein functionality. Remember, go to PubMed, look at metallothionein glutathione, look at metallothionein copper, look at metallothionein and or molybdenum, look at which is a cure for some fibromyalgia cases, or boron or zinc. They're really important, or B6. And those are the things in the copper balance, because they help your metallothionein function correctly. That and the glutathione, and it usually gets your metallothionein to function correctly. Do I have cases it doesn't help? No, I haven't. I've had a few cases that didn't have high copper levels and they didn't get better. But then when I did that, or looked at their toxic elements result through Genova, it was terrible. Cadmium, mercury, uranium, bismuth. They had every metal in there that shouldn't have ever been in a human body. They were high, really toxic levels of them. And I don't even know where to start with those. That's a big toxicology issue.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps.
Oh, that's great. Let's just end on that. I think that's great.
Hey, go to End Fibromyalgia with Natural Options. Get my 85% solution gift, because for your genetic issue, because y'all have them. If you know an IC patient, kick them my way. I can help them. And what am I doing?
Look at Brad.
Oh, did it stop?
Sorry, no, you're good.
And something's going on. There's a marshmallow on my face now.
Well, I was going to say we need to remind them also about the free bottle of copper.
Free bottle of copper,
Yeah.
copper balance. if you join the private group on fibromyalgia.com
Like and share
and
the
pass the
video.
question.
And then
And the question's really dangerous. It's really difficult. It's mysterious.
and make sure you join the email list at endfibromyalgia.com because that's how we'll send you the coupon code. So
In fibromyalgia.com is an email.
And some people were confused last time, so you'll
Yeah.
get a coupon code that when you then go and place an order on physiciandesign.com, you put in that, and that will get you the free bottle.
it should just send
One
you to
free
a link.
bottle.
Yeah, one free bottle.
Because we know who you are.
Yeah.
We're
see
tracking
ya.
you. Yeah. We know some of you are trying to get 5 or 6 free bottles.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, anyway, I've talked enough. I'm tired.
Yeah, but thanks, Lois, for coming
Thanks.
on.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
driving up here. It took 3 days. It went really slow. So, no, I'm kidding.
No.
She had fun. It was a nice drive, I heard.
I love coming up here, yeah. And it's a beautiful drive from Phoenix up here.
It is.
So, yeah.
It's nice and cool. Okay.
I know, I'm
and
wearing a sweater. I've been cold all day.
Suddenly, winter hit today.
yeah, winter here today. It actually snowed above us.
Makes me
Are
sick.
you kidding me? And
See, and I'm like, yo, look, it's snow.
Totally affected my fibro last night. My husband can attest to that. I was dying, and I had to take extra copper balance. I've never had that happen. It was the weirdest thing. Sorry.
you're becoming your mom.
I am becoming my mother.
You'll
I'm
be a
becoming my mom,
You'll be a weather
too.
predictor soon, yeah.
Yes.
Which is horrifying.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
But
this
you
is
have a
Dr.
solution.
I do have a
She has a
solution.
solution.
And I feel so much better today, let me tell you.
So this is, if you have fibromyalgia, get some help. You can get your symptoms under control,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We love you.
I love
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Dr. Dan Purser. God bless and go in good health.
Oh yeah,